Hello. How are you doing today? Hey, this is Kisa, is Coach K, and you know what we like to do. We always like to bring you people, messages, information which uplifts, encourages, and inspires. And our Monday Men Speak segment has been a huge, huge hit. Thanks to you. Thanks for all of your support. And no need to stop. We might as well keep this train rolling, okay? But rather than me giving an introduction to my guest, I want you to take a look at something right now, okay? I want you to take a look at this, and you may know who this gentleman is. All right? Let me put it on the screen.
Leg up. Hey ma, do you know your worth? Do you know your beauty controls this whole universe? And your energy should be kept in the box. Till your king shows up.
Ooh, I have to stop because if I'm not careful, I'll get caught up because I told him it is one of my favorite songs now. Thank you very much. But many of you may indeed know my newest buddy. I can't call him friend because we don't know each other like that just yet. But he's the producer of that video, the main star of that video, and he hails from Birmingham. And I told him I am not going to try to introduce him because I will not do it justice. So, can you introduce yourself to the folks at home who are watching?
Oh, definitely. It's your boy, Mr. Get It Done, aka Mr. Bling Bling, aka what you gonna do with your boy, aka the other side of the truth, aka Mr. Cleopas, what a big girl said genius. It's Mr. Super Producer himself, Shurlock. What's up, baby?
That was fabulous. Best
Outstanding.
introduction yet. I love it. I love it. I love it. Look, you and I know a lot of people are in circles,
Mhm.
with some of the same people. We were talking about a couple of the folks that we knew beforehand. So it is a pleasure to meet you. I feel like I'm actually talking to a rock star. It's a pleasure.
Outstanding. Pleasure to meet you as well.
And let me, this is our Men Speak segment. And so I played that video very specifically because you said to me in that video, you have a great body of work. And I'm going to let you talk about all some of the other artists that you've worked with. But I played that song entitled Black Girl because you said that that would be a message that you would have if you had a daughter that you
Mhm.
would share with her. What's the message, and why do you think it's important to share with whether it would be your daughter or any other Black girl?
Right now, I see a disconnect with young Black women. And I have baby cousins that I care for more than anything in the world. They call me when they need something. They call me when they just want to talk. And sometimes they don't know how to communicate with us, the adults. But I felt like I needed to give them something that they can listen to that will help them understand that they're more powerful than they think they are. They're more beautiful than what everybody else says they are. They're they are the essence of just how can I put this? They are the essence of everything that's going right and can be going right within our Black women. Don't sell yourself short. A lot of times they're selling themselves short and trying to get go the easy route. Sometimes I just think that I want to show them that hey, you are worth everything that we put into you. Yes,
Let
yeah.
me go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, no, no. Go ahead.
I'm gonna let them listen to a little bit of it too, because I love your words in this. So I'm gonna turn it up just a little bit.
Black girl, do you know your worth? Do you know you come from Queens who flip a rule deserve? Do you know that when you go and try to wish upon the star, the Most High have blessed you to go very far now? 9 days you be a lawyer or a doctor, a captain in the Navy, a pilot flying helicopters. It's right there for you. So stop letting them call you a thought and take care of your pain.
Wow. And I just happened to pull it up at that particular point.
Right.
Wow. Wow. I don't, friend, I don't think that that's just a message for young black girls.
Mm.
I think that some of our mature women
Hmm.
hear that message as well. You can do what you want to do. You're not, and you get into a segment in there in which you talk about you said, listen, if you're, and I'm paraphrasing, I'm gonna let you tell us where this came from. But you're
Hmm.
young lady, don't let a man really handle you just any kind of way.
Right.
If you're
Right.
gonna be a part of his life or a part of his plan, you need to know. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
That that came from a relationship that I was in. Um, because I am an artist and a producer, I have to wear a lot of hats and do a lot of things. I was in a relationship when the young lady that I was dating at the time, she just got lost in my world. She didn't have a purpose for herself.
Hmm.
And I was like, well, you know, what is it you want to do? If it's something you want to do, let me kind of help you figure that out and I can be a part of that as well. I don't want you just being 1000% in what I'm doing because that might not be your purpose, that might not be your calling, that might not be your walk. So have your own lane, have your own thing that you're passionate about because this is what I'm passionate about. I always love the ending of that video. I have my little
Yeah.
nephew on my own.
What happens at the end? You said you've got your nephew on your arms.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he used to roll with me everywhere. I used to take my nephew everywhere with me. So at the end of this video, he's
Is that
sitting in my lap right there.
oh oh
Yeah.
yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it. I And like I was telling you, Sherlock, I think now more than ever, I think that the message is needed. And what are you seeing out there? And shout out, by the way, to the 50 and Fabulous crew. Let's look at your shirt again. We are the same. We are a part of that seven. Come
Yes.
through 1972,
Dude,
babies.
I'm trying to tell you.
Dang. Come through.
All day.
So what are you seeing out there in terms of dating, and you talked about that young lady like not having, and women do that. Let me just go ahead and say women do that. Women women can forget all about what they have going when they get in a relationship, just forget all about, okay,
Hmm.
and try to become so engrossed. And the beautiful thing, don't you think that it makes a woman more beautiful when she has her thing and she
Yeah.
has her life?
Yeah. Because and I tell my baby cousins that all the time. I say, yeah, it's okay to be supportive. It's okay to be rah rah, but I need for you to have something. I need
Yeah.
for you to be going somewhere as well. Because if you're just going in one direction, it's easy. That's seasons change, and then you'll be left, and you'll be in no position to do nothing for yourself or do nothing to move forward. I want you to always have some type of way of being in a relationship supportive, but I want you to have your thing where he can be as supportive to you.
Hmm. And keep that thing going.
Yeah,
Hear
yeah,
yourself.
because it's 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 a very difficult dance.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
very difficult dance, and if I put so much in, I found in my walks of life putting so much of my time in somebody else and not putting enough time in me, all of a sudden I become undesirable.
Ooh, can you repeat that again for the people in the back? I
I
I told
find
I
out
I
I
told him I'm
find,
extra. Go
yeah,
ahead.
I find when I put because it was put so much time. I was trying to help her with graphics. I was trying to help her with shows. I was helping designing uh, merchandise for this person. I did so much that all
Mhm.
of a sudden her eyes started wandering, and I wasn't I wasn't desirable anymore for her.
Ooh. Oh, come on, we gotta unpack that a little bit. You believe that you weren't as desirable because of all the things you were doing and
I,
providing?
I think not for the things I was doing providing,
Mhm,
but because I was in so much of her space, her passion,
mhm.
that my passion I had let go, closed off, that the thing that attracted her to me was my work ethic and my music and who I was as a man through that journey. I put that on hold because I was like, well, I'm gonna help her get further first. And by doing so, I was putting so much attention over here, this suffered. So by the time she started to move in the way that we wanted her to move, I am almost an embarrassment when she going places because I'm not that same guy that was there with, if that makes sense.
It does, and you're helping some people, and I can tell you that that is the great challenge of most people who go all in relationships. I have been there. I'm not gonna let you stay out there by yourself.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank
You're
you. I
welcome.
appreciate
You're welcome. I'm not gonna let you stay out there by yourself, but I suspect, Sherlock, that you and I are not it's not isolated. I suspect that's the great challenge in relationships, making sure that you maintain your own identity. And
it.
from you've opened up my perspective because what I'm hearing you say is it can happen from a male perspective as well. Because definitely I know that that females can do that. Females can go all in, you
Yeah.
know, because I can only speak from a woman's perspective.
Hmm.
So thank you for sharing that sincerely, sincerely. Um, so what's the lesson now? You may have said it, but let's hear it again. Let's hear it again.
The
As you
lessons.
forward. Yeah, the lesson as you move forward now and how you will deal with that special. You may be I didn't ask if you were in a relationship now. That's
No.
only you want to share. Okay. As you move forward, how do you take that part and be better?
I'm gonna be honest with you. That part hasn't been easy to figure out. Um,
Mm,
I've I'll start to think, okay, maybe this is my person. And
mhm,
we talk and we have conversations. And then all of a sudden, I start to looking at that pendulum and it starts to weigh in more toward my side.
mhm.
Doesn't go enough back over here. Then it's back over here. And I'm sitting over here with me, sitting over here. I'm like, okay, I want to go. I want us to have. And then there's other times when what she does is so locked in and important that I couldn't even exist in that space if I tried.
Mm,
Even though we like each other, we have good conversation, we might want to do things and stuff together. I see, I have taught myself to see and be very, very honest with myself and that person that so that I know and I'm not wasting their time. Um, because dealing with someone as an artist or a creative isn't the easiest thing sometimes to deal with because we have a I call it a alley mindset. There's no parking. We have to get down the alley to get out back onto the main street before we can focus on these other things. When I get back on the main street, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I'm done. Now, what you said you want me to do,
Yeah.
you know, but in that process, I have to be there. And a lot of people don't understand that. They think you're being rude. They think you're being funny. They think you're not committed. They think you're lazy. They think they come up with all these different terminologies instead of understanding that your creative process is wired a certain. Allow me to work on this. Once I get done with this, I'm 1000% you. I promise you. But a lot of people don't, so I haven't figured it out. I haven't figured it out. I have my theories. I have my theses. I have my little quotes and stuff,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
putting it together with life is difficult for me.
S So I'm sitting over here smiling and shaking my head because I am certainly a creative, and
Mhm.
I had a conversation about, a month ago with a gentleman who's another creative, and I I didn't understand what he said, but I'm hearing it now, but then I should understand it because I'm as a creative, I'm like that too. When you get in and you tend to hyper focus because you're trying to produce and you have to go while that creative vein is flowing, and then when you can come out you can kind of see and rest and be, but then when the creativity strikes again, like I think I locked up here in the house yesterday and I haven't been out. I didn't go out because I was locked and loaded on having to produce this product,
Mhm,
kind of
mhm.
what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah. Once that thought is there, um, I have a very unique mind when it comes to music. Started when I was younger, and I have this thing of being able to see the separation in the song. I could see the kick drum, I could see the snare, I could see the piano, I could see the guitar, I could see the first, third, second voice. I could see them in completion and
Mm,
and be able to see the different parts. So when someone brings me a song, say I want to record this, I hear it a couple of times, and then all of a sudden it lays out in front of me.
wow.
So I know where I want to go. I know how I want it to sound. I know what I want to do. Now, where the hyper focus comes in, is I have to find that sound. I can't find something that's kind of like it. It
Mm,
has to be that thing. I have to
mm,
find this snare. Can't be something like it. It has to be that. Because if I don't find exactly what I'm seeing, it's not going to come out the way that I'm trying to get you to understand that the product is supposed to be.
mm,
So when I get into that, okay, just to give you an idea,
mhm.
I have close to 15,000 one shots in my computer. One shots are kicks, snares, hi hats, hand claps, words, instruments, sounds, barks, gunshots, uh, car sounds, whatever. I have close to 15,000 of them in my computer. So
Wow.
when I have to look for a snare, I have to go through thousands of snares just to get in the right realm of what this snare is that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So it's not a thing of I'm ignoring you and I don't want to take the trash out now.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
I'm listening to that snare and listening to the snare that I saw, well, I heard and saw when I heard what they wanted me to do with this song. I'm looking for that. So I'm boom, snap, boom. I'm listening through all of these sounds. So I have to be focused on it because I might pass it.
Sure. Sure.
So
Sure.
so when
Yeah.
I say it's a double-edged sword because it's good for me being able to do what I do and create what I create. But at the same time, for someone else looking in, they can think I'm just being an A. Yeah,
Just real talk, huh?
yeah.
Uh, Could it just be that you just hadn't found your person yet?
Oh yeah,
Because
I know. I know that. I know that because the person that I would need They will understand that coming in. And plus they will understand. I wouldn't say they understand. They would be they would care enough to ask. That's always a big thing. I care enough, like if you have diabetes, I care enough to say, hey, well, what can you eat and what you can't eat? Then I go and I look online and I find meals that I can prepare that's good for diabetics or snacks or things that you might like to drink, find an alternative. Because I care enough, that's what I'm going to focus on.
Mhm. Mhm.
So if you say you care about me, but you haven't asked me why I'm so locked in on this music, or why am I talking to this person who hasn't paid me, but I believe so much in their craft. Why you know if you don't ask me, how would you know? You just assume me.
And, so part of the attractiveness for you, ladies listening, 'cause I'm always trying to make sure, and by the way, you can follow, Sherlock on his Instagram, on Facebook. The handles are there. They've been scrolling across the screen, so you can follow him and his music. At the very least, you can Google Sherlock, the U instead of an E, right?
Correct.
Shurlock Hubbart. So, I'm hearing that this person is going to ask questions. And do you know I've heard this before, Sherlock? That an intelligent woman, asking questions makes her attractive, wanting to get information and wanting to get understanding. And that's what I'm hearing you say. Am I hearing that correctly?
Yeah, yeah. You will you will not understand how much a man feel like he doesn't matter because you didn't even ask. You just assumed it. I stopped telling you stuff because if I tell you something once and then I tell you again, you don't care enough to even try to remember that I told you. So it's best for me to protect that peace and just be okay and move forward.
Consideration. Is that
Yeah.
another thing that men want? Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Black men feel seen, or do they feel that they're invisible, do you think?
Invisible. We don't matter. And it's hard to say that, but uh, when I was going through what I was going through, nobody saw it. And that was amazing to me because I don't think I'm that good of an actor to put on that mask and hide my pain all the time, every second, every minute that I'm around somebody. I know there's cracks in my arm. So something snuck out somewhere. And you mean that you didn't see anything? Not anything.
How did that make you feel?
Um, I was, I have a, how can I put this? I don't look or even expect a woman to see me. And that's not every man, but that's for me. Yeah, I don't expect it.
You're in the you say that, and let me and I think for people who may be wondering, are you okay explaining what you're talking about when you say not see you and what you went through?
Um, well, everybody knows that I am a very big advocate for mental health,
Yeah.
and most of that is because uh, 5 years ago I did attempt to take my life,
Mm.
and a lot of that came from my communication when I talk to people, especially my aunts or my friends or just anyone, it seemed like my communication was mixed up. I could say one thing, they'll hear something else. I could
Mm.
say something very softly, they would hear it very loudly. I was hurting. There were days that I was just in my apartment, just crying my eyes out. And people would come by and visit, and they didn't see it. I wasn't that great at hiding it. There were times where I just told people I couldn't, today is a bad day. A lot of people don't understand the cues from somebody that's going through depression, things that they always say. And nobody, I was, when I say I was invisible.
Mm.
And nothing I said made sense to no one. So, and yeah, it was just, it was so debilitating and hurtful, and just, I was alone.
Yeah.
Even though I wasn't alone,
Yeah.
it was a space of just being alone.
Yeah.
And then the things started coming in. I can't do anything right while I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm a waste of space. It just starts going down into this rabbit hole. And it's so hard to climb back out of that hole.
Yeah.
And if you don't know the basic information about depression, anxiety, or anything mental health based, or how just to talk to someone can help you, you could end up like I lost four of my veteran friends last year from suicide.
Mm.
So
You are a sailor, right?
I
You're a sailor.
am a Navy man. Yes.
Thank you for your service.
No problem.
What do you what do you may not know. What do you think lunged you there 5 years ago? Was it an incident or was it just an accumulation of things?
Um, I'm going to say it was the failure of a relationship.
Never
Failure of a, yeah, failure of a relationship.
it launched you into a dark place?
It started slow, and then it's like the curve went to a 90 degrees, and I just couldn't make the turn fast.
Yeah, I understand. I'm just gonna tell you. I understand.
Yeah, and my self worth was questioned.
Mhm.
My s- my my intelligence was questioned. My
Mm.
my decision making was questioned,
By
and
another person or by you yourself?
by myself, by me.
Okay. All
Yeah.
because that's so what do you think you could or would do differently? Because inevitably, you've been in other relationships that have ended, et cetera, or so what do you think you could do differently to not go down that path if you're in another relationship and it takes a unwanted turn?
The thing is, I used to be. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm
Yeah.
an I'm an artist. So if fail for you, I fail for you. It wasn't let me see how this is going to work out thing. Uh, I was there for you, period. And when I was there for you, I was not there for anyone else. Uh, no one I've been with can say that that was something that I did. I didn't have wandering eyes. I believe that if I had steak at home, eating hot dogs and hamburgers were very beneath me. So I wouldn't do that. So I did learn that I fall too quick because I am a hopeless romantic.
Oh.
Uh,
Yeah.
I want to be in love. I want to have my person with me, and I want to be able to just be in that space.
Hmm.
But what I learned is everyone has not been has has done the work on themselves.
Mhm.
So me putting myself out like that is a possible, it can be dangerous.
Sure.
And by being dangerous, it puts me in a place of vulnerability where they can be happy, but I'm miserable. And because I'm trying to be loyal and I'm trying to work through, I will let things last longer than they should.
Mm. Hmm. So, in moving forward, knowing that it seems like you would have to put some things in place, some checks and balances in place to make sure, along with prayer and heavy prayer and heavy discernment, make sure to make sure that this person has your back, because when you go there. And I understand and I can see where the Bible scripture now comes into place, where it says, guard your heart with all diligence, for out
Mhm.
of it are the issues of life. So you you can't get into this space unless I know that I know that I know, and the Lord has to. You,
Yeah.
are you feeling me on that?
Oh yeah, that's one of the that that's what I've been told, that I am too cautious. And it's not that I'm too cautious, but I don't want to I don't want to share this energy with anyone else but that person.
Sure.
So,
It's gonna sound horrible when I say this, okay? It's gonna sound
mhm,
horrible. Maybe could it be this is gonna sound horrible when I say it, but I'm just gonna have to say it.
mhm,
Could it be that your emotional pullout game needs to
mhm.
be
Oh, you have no idea. It is so weak, isn't it? Is hey, yeah, nah,
Yeah,
I can't. Yeah, and when I hurt, I hurt.
yeah. So
And
if
that's the process of
huh?
saying, and when I'm hurting, there's a process of me having to go down that rabbit hole and
Yeah.
find out what did I do wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. And when I say that, I meant I think you caught it, but sometimes people don't catch when you throw things out there. I meant instead of going there, you know what I mean? You have
Throwing
to
breaks.
yeah, cut it quick.
Cut it short. Just
Yeah,
this ain't gonna work. This, I understand you like me and I like you, but we have to be honest and understand that we're just not compatible.
thank you. Thank you for explaining. That's exactly what I meant. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Because
do.
it per TD Jakes calls it the gift of goodbye.
Yes. Yeah.
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 When I recognize that this ain't and and I believe in honesty. I believe in being real, because I believe when you're honest and authentic and real, people can get help. I mean, I have been divorced not once but twice. I have no, I say sometimes maybe the moral of the story is when you could have waited till you really had some sense about some things, and then you'd be able, more, but right. So you already see, oh, right.
Yeah.
Because my thing is, I can't allow a person or my past even to rob from me anymore. That's where I am. So I can make light of it, I can joke, I can tell people unabashedly and not be ashamed. Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we're doing stuff and we're doing it out of a hurry, out of this, out of that, and it still don't work. It still ain't gonna work if it ain't right.
Yeah. Especially if you can't be alone with yourself.
I think this has been so good to hear from you. And y'all, for the people who don't know him, but I imagine that's not many. But he's got some major star power. Can you give us a little bit of a? I want you to tell us, give us a little list. Look how I'm saying this, a little list, Sherlock, of people that you
Mm,
worked with that are part on with your who happen to have you on their resume. Some of the artists, and then tell us how we can support you and what we can see coming up.
let's see here. I've worked in music production since the early 90s. I've had the opportunity of working with the Temptations, featuring Dennis Edwards. I had the opportunity to work under Manuel Seal, who's head producer at So So Def. I had the opportunity to work with Escape. I had the opportunity to work with um, goodness, Ghost Town DJs, uh, Monica. Yeah, it's a long. Yeah.
Lot of
And
folks. I
yeah,
just wanted you to throw that out there, so they understand that you're the truth, that you're not the truth, but the truth with an F. Uh, okay, so how can we support you moving forward? I have all of your information there on the back, and you're with your finale album. I was just
yeah,
like, because you said
finale.
you need to do with that, right?
Yeah, it's the last album. Dropped it February 3rd this year. Um, Overseas, doing very very well. Uh,
Nice.
uh, it's my last album, conclusion of a wonderful career as an artist. Um, this album is a journey of the last chapter. Talk about mental health on this album. I talk about love. I talk about being broke. I talk about moving on. I talk about being shy and trying to approach someone the correct way in the song Honey Butter. So, there's there's just that nerdy me on this album.
I
So
love it. All you. I can't imagine you being shy. You're an artist. I cannot imagine that.
yeah. Okay.
I would be surprised. Even though I'm very good interacting with people, I get it because I can be quite the introvert. Like I have not been out and seen people. And I got up this morning, had a list of things that I needed to do. So I love people when I'm there and I'm in that space. I'm in that space, but I'm also very good when I am in my own space and recharging.
Woo. Cooking, watching movies,
Yeah,
making me some ranch butter popcorn. Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The simple things, right?
Oh my goodness. Yes.
The simple things. It has been so fun talking to you. You are just so easy to talk to. The revelation that has come because a lot of times, and every regardless of which gentleman I speak with, there's always something new and novel that comes out of it. Everything has a different slant, which is great for me. I love the stories, that you all share. And, ladies, we aren't the only ones who think that we give and do and hurt or whatever. Men give and do and can be hurt just the same and are hurt just the same, okay? So, a lot of times we have to stop wearing that as a badge of honor, and try to understand our men. And another thing, to actually see them.
Mhm.
I heard Tamala Tamala Mann, I was watching a video clip and she talked about something that her husband was going through. And she said, he notices everything about me. She said, but there was something that he was going through. I don't know if that he went into detail or I caught the detail in that clip, but she said, I didn't see him. And she said, I
Mhm.
had to apologize to him for that.
Mhm.
So thank you for that reminder. And that, ladies, we need to see our guys. The consideration and being seen is important. Sherlock, so good to talk to you. I'll be keeping up with you in the future. How about
Yeah,
that?
that'll work. That'll work.
My 1972
Limited edition, baby.
52 representing.
Oh, just saying.
All right. Thank you so much. It's so cool to hang out with you. And that's his information. And Sherlock, we'll talk to you soon, okay?
Okay. Thank you for having me.
Hi, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I'm just going to call him Sherlock. You all know, sometimes I'm late to the party, so forgive me. You know him, you know his work, but the interview, the information that he gave, absolutely powerful. So special thanks to him. I want you to support him. I've kept his platforms and his handles running across the bottom of the screen. I want to thank you again for joining us for Men Speak, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great night.